So today, after we study is about the past one and part three. So coming to this, we practice the past one speaking. The first one is topic work or study, and the topic two is crowded places. So coming to the past one, the task one. Um, the topic one, work or study. Do you do you work or study? So yeah, I work full time as a data analytic and yeah, I work full time as a data analytic engineer at the Congap Amoly Vietnam. Basically, a big part of my job is taking quite massively a message data. Do you work or study? Yeah, I work full time as a data analytic engineer at the Congap Amoly Vietnam. Basically, a big part of my job is taking quite messy data from different sources and turn it into something the business can actually use. So I build data pipelines, dashboard, and automated report. A lot of work happens behind the scenes, but it's basically self our team from doing the same repetitive task over and over again. So what do you like about your job? Probably the most satisfying part of is seeing someone actually use something I've built. I remember automating one report that our team used to spend nearly half a day putting together manually. The third time it ran by itself and produced the whole thing a few minutes. One of the user messaged me and said, I've just solved me or half day every week. So that's kind of the feedback in is incredibly rewarding because I can see exactly how my work makes someone's a day a little easier. What do you do after work? Most evenings I still end up doing something data related, which is probably a bit ironic considering I work with the data all day. At the moment, I'm trying to improve my English and occasionally experimenting with a small automation report of my own. I normally give myself an hour or so after dinner. But if I have a particularly crowded day at work, I'll just lie in the bed and put the series on and switch my brain off completely. So coming to the crowded places, we have the five questions. The first one, do the most people like crowded places? I would say it depends on the situation. For instance, if it's a night market or a live event, a crowd can actually make the place feel more exciting because it's a real buzz in the air. But if I'm in just trying to get somewhere, like taking the metro during rush hour or walking through the parking shopping mall, I find it's quite draining. For me, crowded places are enjoyable only when the crowd adds to some experience, not when it get in the way. The next question is, do you like crowded places? Not particularly, not particularly. I mentally drain quite quickly when I'm surrounded by too many people, especially in places like park shopping malls where there are constant noise and people are brushing past you every few seconds. After about an hour, after about half an hour, I normally start looking for somewhere quietly just to get away from the sensory overload. So unless the are a specific reason for me to be there, I tend to steer clearly of really crowded places. When were the last time you were in the crowded places? Actually, it's just last weekend. I went to a shopping mall to grab a quick dinner, but I completely forgot it was around 7 in the evening. So the food court were absolutely parked. I spent nearly 10 minutes just trying to find an empty table, and there were people queuing up everywhere. After a while, I got so fed up with the noise and the crowd that I just grabbed my food to go and eat somewhere else. Is the city where you live crowded? Definitely, I live in Ho Chi Minh City, and you really notice that the crowd during the morning rush. My office only about 10 kilometers from home, but on a bad day, that a short commute can take me nearly an hour because the roads are completely jammed with the motorbikes. Sometimes I will sit at the same traffic light for 2 or 3 cycles before I can even get through. So I basically learned to plan my day around the traffic. And the last question is there a crowded place near where you live? Yes, there is a local wet market about 5 minute walk from my place, and it's get really hectic first thing in the morning. The street outside is quite narrow, and the people often stop the motorbikes right in the middle of the road to buy the vegetable or pick up the breakfast. Whenever I pass through on my way to work, I have to slow right down and wave my way to through the traffic. It's a tiny market, but somehow it's create a massive bottleneck every morning. So that's it. The end of the part one.